Today I'll be sharing my time-saving tips for busy parents. Hi, I'm Dani from Practical Mummy Loves Luxury. Welcome to my series of videos for new or expecting parents. Having said that, if you've been a parent for a while, you may find these tips helpful too, so certainly stay tuned. Now for the new parents, you've heard it all before, life gets busy, but you really don't appreciate how busy it can get until you're actually living it. So here are a few things that I try to do to keep my life as efficient as possible. All relevant details are linked in the description box below, and without further ado, let's get started. My first tip is to dress your baby in day clothes when they go to sleep the night before. Now, unless there is a special occasion and we really do not want a single wrinkle in their clothing, I think it's totally fine for children to be wearing their next day's clothes the night before. And if you watch my channel, you know I love the Bond's Wondersuit over two-piece clothing because when the child is very young and you've got to carry them a lot, I've found that if my daughter was wearing a two-piece, every time I tried to carry her by her trunk, her top would ride up and her entire torso would be exposed. The other thing that I found was that in winter, when it was very cold, I felt that changing my daughter out of her pajamas into a day set of clothes quite agitating because it was cold. So I don't really think it helps at all. The other big thing is when your child starts childcare and you have to drop them off before you head to work, it's pretty hectic anyway getting yourself and your child ready. So if you have one less thing to do, it's awesome. My next tip is to grab your clean clothes straight off the drying horse. I don't use a clothes dryer for multiple reasons. Number one, it damages your clothes. Number two, it costs quite a lot to run. Number three, it mists up the laundry and then you get issues with mold and all that building up in your laundry. Instead, I use a clothes horse to dry my clothes. I have a few clothes horses around my house. There's a couple outside and there is one that lives in the kitchen. When guests come over and I'm trying to impress, I will put the clothes horse away, either putting it in the laundry or taking it outside. Sorry if you've come over and I forgot to put it away. So whenever I can, I'll go and check on the clothes horse to see if any of my laundry is dry. This is especially helpful for things like socks, not just for my daughter, but for myself as well. This approach saves double handling. You don't have to open a drawer, take out a clean piece of clothing, and to subsequently go to the clothes horse, grab your dry laundry, fold them, and put them back in the drawer. I use this same approach with my dishes. So if I'm looking for a fork, a spoon, chopsticks, a plate or a cup, I will check to see if there's a suitable one in the dishwasher first. My next tip is to have a nappy caddy in every room that your child spends a lot of time in. So for nappy changes that occur 4 to 6 times a day, I would consider that a high frequency activity. In my opinion, it is worthwhile setting up a nappy caddy in every single room that your child spends time in. So for me, it's the nursery, my bedroom, and her play area. I'm not going to go into the details of what's in a nappy caddy because I've already gone through that in quite a lot of detail in one of my previous videos. If you're interested in looking at the details of what's in my nappy caddy, go ahead and watch that video. I'll leave a card up here for you. This specific nappy caddy is from Kmart, but you certainly can buy a nappy caddy from any other brands. And in one of my rooms, I don't actually use a nappy caddy, I just use a paper bag. My next tip is to pack a separate childcare bag to a nappy bag. And of course, this is only relevant once your child starts childcare. I do this because the things that you need in a childcare bag is different from what you need in a nappy bag. At my childcare, a lot of things are provided. For example, nappies, food, and certainly entertainment. So there's a lot of things that I don't have to pack in her childcare bag on a daily basis. However, if I'm taking my daughter on an outing, there's a whole lot of other things that I need to pack for her. Again, I have another video on packing a nappy bag. If you're interested in the details of what I put in the nappy bag, feel free to go and watch that one. So the other advantage of having separate bags is if there's a time where you want to pick your child up from childcare to take them to another place, you then have your nappy bag at home that you can pack and prepare to bring along with you, as opposed to only having one bag. So if your child was in childcare, their childcare bag would be with them. And if you wanted to take them out on an outing from childcare, you would have to pack a separate bag anyway. You will know my next tip if you've watched some of my other videos before. And that is to only buy toys that can go in the washing machine or the dishwasher. And potentially that's a very difficult rule to stick to. However, try and minimize the toys that can't be washed in a washing machine or a dishwasher. That will save you a lot of time manually hand washing toys. My next tip is to have cleaning equipment in every room. If you watch my channel, you know that my favorite cleaning products include methylated spirits as well as eucalyptus oil. The other thing I also have is a pack of wet wipes in every room for the really manky messes that I don't want to use a reusable towel on. In all my bathrooms, I also have a bottle of bleach, some baking soda, as well as some vinegar. Firstly, when cleaning products are easily accessible, it's going to be a lot easier to keep your house clean. And obviously, if the cleaning product is easily accessible, you don't have to go and look for them. The other thing is, if you only have one set of cleaning products and there's other people living in the house, the other person could place it somewhere different from where you last left it, and then you'd be spending the time trying to search for it. My next tip is to use a basket or a paper bag of some sort to transport things around when you're tidying. And I'm referring to tidying things like laundry and toys. When it comes to laundry, I think like everyone else, I would fold them and organize them into their relevant piles. And then I would use an empty laundry basket and organize my clean folded laundry according to my route. So the clothes that would go in my last destination would go right at the bottom of my laundry basket and vice versa. And I would use a very similar approach when I'm tidying the house. For example, if I'm going to walk around the house and pick up stuff off the floor, I would either bring a basket or a paper bag with me, and I would collect things along the way. A specific example is, say, my husband's calculator. My daughter loves to play with that, and instead of the calculator being on his desk, it might be in the living area. So I might pick it up in the living area as I continue to tidy. When I get to the study, I would offload that calculator onto my husband's desk. This saves you from making multiple trips around the house. The next thing I really love doing, and I think this saves time and money, is using a chalk pen. So you can use chalk pens on non-porous surfaces, such as tiles, the shower glass, or the mirror. I often like to use the chalk pens to write reminders for myself that I need first thing in the morning. This is especially useful for travel. I don't know about you, but I always find first thing in the morning quite a hectic time because you've just woken up, you may have been sleep deprived, you feel a little bit fuzzy in your brain, the coffee hasn't quite worked yet, and you're in a rush and you're feeling quite anxious because, say, the child might be crying or we can't wake them up or whatever it is. So I find that writing reminders for myself on my bathroom mirror really hard to miss, and it keeps me calmer as well. With the next thing, if you watch my channel, you know that I recommend pants or clothing with pockets. This is to carry things like your mobile phone, a dummy, a handkerchief, or the TV remote control. And this will save you placing them down somewhere and wondering where on earth you left it and having to go and search for it. The next thing is staying organized with a family schedule. Now, I'm very passionate about maintaining a family schedule because I find that it keeps me a lot more organized than I otherwise would be, and it also keeps me sane. On my family schedule, I have my shopping list, my appointments, and my to-do list. As I complete my tasks, I tend to tick them off, and that, my friend, stops me from double handling. Sometimes I've forgotten I've done something and I do it twice. Leave me a comment if that happens to you as well and you never used to do that before your baby arrived. I've already done a whole video on maintaining a family schedule, so if you really want to know the details of it, feel free to check it out. My next tip is to use click and collect. I don't know why I never used it before, but it is so convenient now. Especially since the pandemic, a lot of companies have introduced click and collect. I shop at Coles and I love using click and collect. And Coles offers click and collect for free if you spend $50 or more, which is easy for me. And I understand some people have said to me that they prefer choosing their fresh produce. So you can still do click and collect for all the other products that are not perishable. And with the fresh produce, go and do your own shopping for that. It really saves me pushing around those creaky trolleys, up and down those aisles, trying to find the item that I want. Trust me, it saves a ton of time. For me, it's probably halved my shopping time. And the next thing, if you are a new or expecting parent, I highly recommend that you watch my videos. In all seriousness, I found the learning curve to parenthood extremely steep. And because I found it so hard, and bearing in mind that my overall journey was not particularly complicated, I had a normal pregnancy, I had a fine delivery, I have a healthy baby girl, I still found it hard. With all the tips that I share in my videos, I actually wrote them down in a journal for myself in case I have a number 2 to remind myself of things that I need to do. So I decided that I would create these videos to make it easier for other new parents. And as the name of my channel suggests, I am a practical person. I love getting things done efficiently or finding appropriate shortcuts. My videos are on topics like choosing a pram, choosing a car seat, setting up your home for a new one, and if you're interested, I'll leave a link up here for you. My next video is going to be on money saving tips. To make sure you don't miss that video, do subscribe and click on that notification bell. That way you'll be informed when that video becomes available. In the meantime, feel free to enjoy these videos over here. I really hope you liked this video, and if you did, don't forget to like and share. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!